It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. It's not inverted anymore. Top Rope Tokes up here to review AEW Dynamite. I'm just saying, that guy over there still gotta get used to this now.
I'm Range Emotions, baby.
And here to talk about another episode of AEW Dynamite, a themed episode, which, you know, they always make worth watching. Definitely. Amazing show, lovely show. Oh my god, I don't even have my notes out. How unprepared am I? Yeah, that's all because the Dynamite was awesome.
Yeah. Story-wise, this was quite the Dynamite. It was a dynamite.
There was
dynamite.
I mean, you had a return. You had a very surprising announcement late in the show that all of this stuff is just going to throw giant wrenches into what the fuck is going to happen between here and All Out.
Yeah. You have one match that was a banger for sure. I didn't even really take notes on that one.
Yeah. You
but
also
just story-wise,
you also had one of the shortest matches in AEW history too.
Yeah. That was.
Wait, am I missing a match in here, or that's?
No. There's literally only like 4 matches, I think.
I mean, granted, we know that, you know, they gave plenty of time to a couple of them.
Yeah, I think there's only 4.
2 out of 3, main event, squash match, women's match.
Yeah, that's it.
And
there was supposed to be another match, but someone didn't let that match happen.
Moxley said, "Fuck these jobbers. Y'all don't get TV time."
Yeah. It's like, I want to fight CM Punk, kinda.
If Mark Sterling and Tony Nese were taken out in that kind of way, how low were the people that they were supposed to face?
Yeah.
What
I want to know, most important thing about that, when does Mark Sterling get his lawsuit going against Jon Moxley?
Oh god.
Like, is it going to be by Rampage? He's already going to have it ready.
After we're done with this show and I go to do my toking after, well, you know, the video edit exporting, I will have to look on Twitter, see if it's already started up.
Yeah, it's gotta be people versus Jon Moxley.
I mean, Moxley has to have something to do. Hey, what's up, Forklift?
Yeah,
Moxley has to have something to do once he loses to Punk at All Out.
Hey,
because I still insist that match is happening at All Out. I don't care what they announce later in the show.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because
I think we might be getting I don't know, because I don't think the
I feel like he can't. I feel like MJF can't DQ next week, because then they have literally unloaded their entire clip before All Out. What will be the big thing at All Out? Because you know he has to have something All Out. I was counting on MJF after the match at All Out.
Yeah. What if I make my debut? That's gonna be pretty big.
Hey man, you're taller than half the roster.
See? I'm just like, and I'm just as injured as most of the roster too. So it'll be fine.
Your attempt at working for AEW would be just to find Stokely and be like, "Hey, you're recruiting everybody, right? I'm in."
Yeah. Like, do you need another one of like an assistant? Because I don't want to be an in-ring personality. I just want to be
Stokely's assistant.
I want to be a manager. I'll be Stokely's apprentice.
You'll be Nakazawa, like what he was for Kenny Omega, in like the AEW gear and the headgear, like following around like an assistant for Stokely. Clipboard and a headset.
There we go. See?
All right, so honest question. Bigger return tonight. Kenny Omega or Scissor Me Daddy Ass?
You can't ask me that question.
It's not fair.
Because for me, the one that's gonna stick forever,
Scissor Me Daddy
Scissor Me
Ass.
Daddy Ass, is still happening, man. It's back. We're back.
Literally, as soon as it was happening, and I had rewound to watch the very quick squash match. We'll get to the actual full-length review here shortly. But as soon as it was happening, one of the first questions I asked you was, do we get to say Scissor Me Daddy Ass again? Got answered quick enough. Thank you.
Yep, we definitely do.
Such a fun episode. Like, you get that line, you get the main event, and I mean, until Moxley, came out for the opening promo, like the opening promo by Punk was good. So to kick off the show, I don't know about you, I got this separated into two very separate sections because everything that Punk did prior to Moxley getting into the ring was gold.
I don't have multiple sections or anything for it. I just kind of take notes on the things that I think that they said that were cool.
Yeah. I'll kind of type it up in like a paragraph. Like,
yeah.
First, nobly, he offers up a rematch to Hangman Adam Page. Sits on the ring, waits for him, doesn't show up and says, that's not cowboy shit, that's coward shit. Talks about being a champ even though his champion reign lasted how long, Range?
Was it like 2 days now? Yeah, I think he's been champion for 2 days.
Had to get rid of it right away. But he does tell Hangman that when he apologizes, the apology has to be as loud as the disrespect because he did talk some mad shit before that. Then we get to the fun part of CM Punk just laying waste to Moxley.
Yeah, John Moxley has finally heard enough after.
I mean, this is when he says he's the third best person in his own
group.
And that's a recurring theme for his career.
Third best person in his group, third best Eddie he's ever faced, and only the second best Kingston.
Says All Out won't be the first time he beat John in Chicago for a championship, and he still isn't even on top of that list. And that is when Mox had enough. But my God, one of the biggest laughs I had of the night, besides Scissor Me Daddy Ass, came when Mox's music hit and Punk dropped a line over top of the music.
Yeah, it's like, I got a while. I'm gonna make some angels, and he just laid in the middle of the ring and started making angels.
He really did have
while talking over Mox's intro the whole time. It was great.
You think he would have sped it up or reacted to it in some way, shape, or form? No, but he still took his sweet ass time. Now, I'll give him credit. He had one thing to open up that was when he actually got into the ring. It was fun when he mockingly said, "Oh, look out, everyone! CM Punk's dropping pipe bombs everywhere."
Yeah.
Nah, man, he just really was dropping them all over you.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to shit on Hangman and Mox and Mox's people. Well, Eddie Kingston specifically.
Yeah, I mean, because the other ones he kind of like praised by saying, dude, you're the third best in your own group, so the other ones are better. Now, the question is I'm assuming he's referring to Danielson and Claudio.
Yeah.
But, like, Wheeler's really, really getting up there really, really fast, too.
Yeah. That's why I thought about it for a second. I was like, which ones? And then I'm like, okay, no, I know which ones he's talking about. But I like Wheeler Yuta a lot. So it's not an easy question for me.
Yeah, I just think in that context, it makes a lot of sense to go by, longevity, the respect, and all that kind of making a difference, because you're talking about, legacy and overall careers and stuff like that. The line that left Mox speechless, he says he's the heart and the soul, and Punk says he's the dollars and the cents. One of them has to draw money for the company.
Yep.
Punk even called him out for
Mox
having
just kind of, Mox just stood there for a while. He was so not ready. I can't even remember what he came back with when he eventually did. It just took him way too long.
I know it was either the very first thing he came back with eventually, or if it was shortly like the next line, but he's basically said he knows why Punk is back. It's because he finally ran out of money. He's broke.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just kind of was not anything notable really said, and then they had the whole face off, and that's when the brawl started.
Yeah.
Typical main event kind of brawl. Pull apart, fight again, pull apart, fight again, pull apart, fight again. Nothing too crazy to really note.
Yeah. Yeah, Moxley took half his clothes off and threw some stuff, in true sports exit.
Hey man, Antonio Brown did it, so can Mox.
Antonio Brown was in the wrong industry the whole time. That's what it was.
It's kind of like one of the Paul brothers being at WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Like, dude, you were made for this. Why are you doing this? You were made for this.
Hey, boxing matches with celebrities make a whole lot of money for whatever reason.
Even though that they've been confirmed to be rigged.
Yeah.
Next, Tony Schiavone backstage with Powerhouse Hobbs.
Powerhouse.
It's the most basic interview thing. He asks why he did it.
Yeah. Hobbs said he doesn't need any friends. Ricky's okay with losing, but he's not okay with losing.
Yeah, because
all he does is just hide behind Hobbs' back.
Yeah, and this is a reference back to when he lost the title to Hook, who was someone like within their own crew and everything, and he took that loss well. Like Hobbs says, he was literally hired to make sure Starks doesn't lose, and they holds on to that title, and he still failed. And then he was like, I not only break backs, but I'll break necks. And that's where he should have ended it. That's really where he should have ended it. There was like another line, and then he talked about QT in the factory, but...
Oh, yeah. I forgot there was more after that, because that was such an ending right there.
When he said anything after, I was like, why? Why did you keep going? That was a good punctuation.
Yeah, he's got something for QT in the factory.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that Moxley effect where he keeps trying to punctuate it, but then says more. It's like, stop. You had a decent one.
Yeah. He's about to Wardlow them.
Yeah. So next, we get the banger of the night. 100%. One of the two things this whole show has been built around since they've been advertising it like 2 weeks out. We get the 2 out of 3 falls match between Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. Jericho's out for
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the timekeeper's table tonight.
Yep. And we
had to make sure we said that too. Very important. Hey, Dad.
Jericho came out for commentary. Then Garcia came out. Well, actually, there was in between, but when Garcia came out, he did have Dragon Slayer on his video package now as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just his look from the beginning was more ready to fight kind of look. It reminded me of how Taz used to come into the ring with the towel over his head.
Mm-hmm. Just like Taz was a man on a mission. He's like, I'm going in there to fuck some people up and get out.
Yeah.
Now, we sat back and enjoyed this match. I could tell you so much about it that it's just watch it. Great technical, great countering, great just beating the crap out of each other throughout this match. The first fall came after a scary looking pile driver where I had asked with you if you saw it the same way I did. Danielson's head looked like it was way too low and not protected at all.
You might as well bust it out because that's my hit of the night. Because that pile driver, Daniel Garcia, I hate your do-rag, but damn, you can make a move look good.
Now, so right after this, like literally they were fighting in and out transitions and stuff like that, and he powered him up out of the counter into the position for a pile driver, and as he held him, it looked like his head stuck out like another 3 inches beyond like the bottom of his legs when he jumped. So I just instantly was like, please move your arms and your legs.
Yeah, so I was like, come on, man, please be alive. Do something.
Then Garcia was able to put him into a Dragon Sleeper, which had a hammerlock to like trap the arm too.
Yeah.
And something that you don't expect to happen in 2 out of 3 falls matches. And they even talked about on commentary, sometimes you tap out to save yourself. Danielson let himself pass out.
He's got the heart of a dragon.
Hold on, scales,
American
all that good
dragon.
stuff. So he'd be a cold-hearted motherfucker. I mean, like,
for my D&D fans, he's got high constitution. Or actually, like, he might have the cantrip spare the dying.
Hey, all I know is at one point these two looked like literally Garcia like 15 years from now. Garcia now, Garcia 15 years from now. Although Garcia probably won't have a chest that welts up and turns red. Because
not like that.
He's not as pale and everything as Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, definitely not like that. But yeah, man, we're gonna see. I appreciate that Daniel Garcia is getting some shine here because I didn't know he was this good. Because he was just JASB squad to me.
FYI, because we're kind of talking about chops there for a second, because Danielson's chest was all messed up. One day I kind of want us to test out that. I kind of want you to try chopping me in the chest when I'm over, but I'm also scared as hell to take a chop.
Oh man, I'm gonna Keith Lee.
Oh god. And with no training whatsoever, you'll probably like just slap me across the face on the way down.
I know. Nah, yeah, but I would definitely give you a flare. Because if I'm chopping somebody, I'm getting a flare in.
Hold on. I can't.
Yeah, you can.
Had to clear my throat slightly, sorry.
Had to clear his throat.
God, it was such a good match, though.
Yeah, this was obviously the match of the night.
There was like it was counters and exchanges that led to Bryan Danielson getting a quick like counter roll-up victory to tie it at 1-1. Just this match was so full of counters. I'm not talking just like straight like technical counters like into a next hold. Sometimes it's like the Greco-Roman knuckle lock, and then just the strikes and the counters just into like pins and other submissions and everything. It was so good.
Yeah, like that one where they were both on the ground and they kept reversing that leg lock. Then they just started kicking each other in the face.
Oh yeah. Like doing somersaults over each other at some point, just doing reversals. Like hell, even the finishing sequence was counter. Oh, tried to escape the submission, elbow his head a bunch of times, put him back in it.
Yeah.
If you enjoy violent looking wrestling, technical wrestling, you need to go back and watch this match.
Yeah. Look at the blood on Garcia.
Yeah, because it looks so bad. That was the only thing that happened was when they were battling outside the ring, the whole ramming each other into turnbuckle posts, and that's the only thing I could really think of that would have busted him open. Because it's like he DDT'd Danielson on the outside on concrete, but I don't remember any kind of spot like that against Garcia.
Yeah, I don't know. There was towards the end, I wasn't sure who the blood was actually coming from, or if it was both of them, because they were both just bloody as hell, man. Oh,
yeah. I think Garcia's got his kind of cleaned up pretty quick. It looked like it was somewhere around the eye, because his right eye was like a lot of it was pulled in there after a while.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, that's what I kept seeing.
I will say Daniels hit a spider German suplex off the top rope. Another one of those moves that makes me ache and pain and wince and just fear for crippled effects. Like, please just move.
That was wild.
I kind of talked about it already. It was a lot of counters, but it ended up with Danielson putting Garcia in the label lock, started to fight out of it. He let go for a second, elbowed him a bunch more, tossed it back on, and he passed out right away.
Yeah.
Comes to, he's still like trying to scrap with him, like grabbing at him and stuff, like he doesn't even know.
Yeah. And Danielson's just sitting in the corner, just like, all right. Like, that's the kind of stuff that he wanted to see from Daniel Garcia.
Which got him, Danielson was in the middle of the ring, extended out his hand to shake his hand, and then things got a little bit interesting. Chris
Jericho, whatever his nickname is right now,
he came down Lionheart
right now,
because he even kind of referenced certain things during the match. Lion Tamer.
I guess he's the lion. Yeah, I guess he's gonna be the Lionheart right now. He's just gonna cycle back through all of his personas before he retires. I think that's what's happening here.
A little bit.
But yeah, anyways, Jericho. He attacks Bryan Danielson, as it looks like him and Daniel Garcia are about to shake hands. Jericho ain't having that, sports entertainers.
Yep, he gets to hit Danielson from behind, but then Garcia cuts him off, and Jericho kind of does warning him, like, you're in JAS, that kind of stuff, and Garcia swats his finger away, and it's kind of tense, and Jericho leaves, and Garcia's in the ring, and we get a big "you're a wrestler" chant.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was Wheeler Yuta however many months ago, and now then it went to Takeshita, and now it's Daniel Garcia's time to go through that ringer.
Yeah, Daniel Garcia is about to be I think he's joining. But because Garcia looked like he was kind of torn as to what he should do afterwards. But they've been leaning towards it for a little while. I mean, everybody thought he was going to be in the Blackpool Combat Club back when they started it up.
I think he might have just been kind of, playing up the surprise to the crowd reaction just as much as being torn. But yeah, definitely going that way. And now that you have trios titles and the Blackpool Combat Club is expanding, you're kind of opening up the door. Claudio's busy right now with the Ring of Honor Championship. Mox is currently occupied with the interim championship.
For a very brief moment, yeah.
Currently. Although he can probably afford a vacation after being consistently around for a while. Once he drops that belt. Who knows? But that leaves Danielson, Yuta, who still has his championship, and then eventually Garcia. So you gotta figure somebody's gonna splinter off there as a team at some point.
Yeah. Danielson and Garcia would be interesting.
Which, maybe we'll eventually get someone interesting for the tag team champions, who we had next with Tony Schiavone and Private Party and Swerve in Our Glory backstage. There was a lot of talking in a very quick manner in this to kind of grasp a whole lot. All I know is they were talking about the disrespect, and they said, hey, we are ranked number 5 now.
Yeah, they went out there and probably got a win on Dark Elevation or something.
Facing the Wingman shouldn't count.
They probably didn't even face the Wingman.
It was probably even lesser.
Just someone, one of those and now this person that's never been in AEW and will probably never be in AEW again.
Unless we need them to lose.
Again.
Quickly.
Yeah. But yeah, they're ranked number 5, so they want some respect. But
I don't know, you can go right to the part that made you laugh, because the in-between was kind of...
But, so Isaiah's just sounding off all up in Keith Lee's face. And Keith Lee just sticks out a piece of gum.
And Isaiah snatches it, too.
Yeah. He knew his breath was stinking, apparently. Because the quickness that he stole that gum with.
The weird thing is they sat there for a second after, and Mark Quinn was even telling him, you don't need that, but you're sitting there still, just standing there saying it. It's wouldn't you at least be walking away at that point? Your tank top is green screening because it's so similar to other stuff. It's funny. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, it is. That's cool.
It was fun for a second.
My hair's in the green screen. My one strand of hair that's over there. Damn. Yeah.
Now, we alluded to this earlier. There's not really much that came next. Mark Sterling and Tony Nese on their way down to the ring to have a match, and instead they found their next lawsuit because Mox attacks them and laid him out, wants to fight Park now. He said there was another one of their,
it's another security separating them type of things. This time Claudio and Wheeler Yuta actually come out to pull Mox away. Claudio picks up Moxley like a little kid throwing a tantrum, and then he's kicking his feet too, and Claudio's kind of smiling the whole time, come on, little buddy.
If there's a picture, that might have to be on the thumbnail.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Next, there was something with Tony Schiavone backstage, and I saw Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Jericho Appreciation Society, and all I caught was really the very end. And I know you said you really didn't catch anything out of this either, but Jericho tells him stay out of his business, and then walks away, and Cool Hand starts repeating and grabbing him, and Ricky just smacks the shit out of him. You'll have to go show old school that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to show my pops that one. My pops was a big fan of Ricky Dragon Steamboat back in the day.
So you might get to hear his name as much as possible during this. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him watch this episode just so that he can see that we talked about him.
And the fun part is just this little bit that we just talked about that.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Just this like last minute that we talked about that was longer than the last match. Or the next, not last match, but the next match. My
the
bad.
next match, yeah. The next match was a squash match
For the
Gun Club. Yeah. The
They-
Gun Club got a squash match.
It's against Varsity Blondes. Basically, Austin was affected by the big ass boys chants. They hate him right off the bat. Colton tags in, hits him a couple times, a big ass right hand, then the Colt 45 in the win.
Mm-hmm.
Billy comes in and he's so proud of him. This is everything that he had been talking about. They're getting stuff done. He's so proud, and he hugs them. And then what?
They hug it out. It was a cute moment. And then here comes Stokely walking down the ramp.
Not even down to the ring or anything yet.
He's not even getting down there all the way, but as Stokely's walking down with his cheese smile, Billy gets attacked by his own sons.
Because he saw Stokely and he's like, what? Like, you know, he's thrown off. Obviously, he gets his attention and then attacked. But forget everything that happened in the main event. Forget everything that happened in the main event. The return of the night came next. It did. Because who came out to save Billy Gunn, Papa Ass?
The Acclaim came out to save Daddy Ass. Well, he's Daddy Ass again now.
Because everyone loves.
He was just Billy Gunn until this Dynamite. Now he's Daddy Ass again.
Wait, hold on. I said this during the show when we were watching it. Anthony Bowens had a mic in his hand for the longest time, and they just had like that awkward pause, his guns down in the corner, like looking, and they're just looking back and forth at each other. He had a microphone in his hands. It's like, why would you grab the mic if you never had anything that, like, you weren't prepared to say something? I just realized something. Did they even say a word? Because remember, he just gestured to him. He just gestured to him and then he put it back up.
He did. I think he did yell, "Scissor me, Daddy Ass."
I was like, I'm trying to remember, but yeah.
It just wasn't on the mic. But you can. Bowens is loud as fuck though, so you can hear it.
So, you know, they kind of greet that way, but that's not enough. Then they have to do the best friends, like triple post, like put it up and then go to the middle and do it. But it doesn't matter because we get to say it again, Range. We get to say it again.
Yeah. I need that shit.
I'm so happy.
I'm gonna need, I need a Billy Gunn and Acclaimed shirt immediately.
Billy Gunn,
the trios title reign.
If we want to make total jokes of it by having a 6-year-old be a key factor since he's like the biggest dude in the ring, yes.
Yep.
My notes for that section literally ends with all hugs and happiness. I was so happy.
Yeah. My notes ended at Scissor Party in the middle of the ring. Fuck yeah.
At one point, one of the commentators, I can't remember who it was, they were like, don't ask me ever to do that. And the other commentator was like, yeah, I'm not ever, no.
Hey, if Daddy Ass is doing it, everybody should do it.
All right.
Just saying.
So after that, we get I just type it as Lethal and Company video.
Yeah,
basically,
the Lethal team.
Dutt wants FTR and Wardlow trios match it all out.
Yep. Yeah, he Sanjay Dutts a lot. I lost my pencil.
After that, we have Death Triangle backstage. Pac basically says Ospreay claims he's the best Britain has ever produced, and he begs to differ, and they're just hyping up their trios match, which is Death Triangle versus Aussie Open and Will Ospreay, which should be a really fun match when we get to it. Just unfortunately, one side has the Lucha Brothers and the other side has Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
One of those parts of the equation equates to losing a lot. The other one equates to winning a lot.
Yeah. Why are the Lucha Brothers? Why? I love the Lucha Brothers so much.
Now, if this inevitably leads to a Pac versus Osprey match on big ass TV, that will be great. It will be.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm not really concerning myself with that one. So. Yeah,
but I don't want to lose. I don't want my Lucha boys to lose.
I like Penta so much, and just unfortunately, this company started with him having rivalries with like Kenny Omega and stuff like that. But that was when everything was really, really based around wrestling and not your ability to be an interesting character weekly on television. I understand and respect Fenix's abilities, but I love Penta and I just want him to succeed.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
Jungle Boy promo, your favorite theme song. He said Luchasaurus isn't there because of that headbutt last week to Pat Buck. He acknowledged that this Christian as a pussy t-shirt got him into some trouble, but it's true. He's tried to hit Christian every chance he's had by hand, chair, or even by his car, and Christian does nothing. He won't stop until, he won't stop unless Christian mans up, face him at All Out. Christian comes out again right before Jungle Boy can call him a pussy. Christian says no to the challenge. Then it just gets weird.
Yeah.
But Christian tonight on AEW Dynamite was the official representative of Top Rope Tokes. Because his jacket matches the overlay so well.
Yeah, I can't give him full props because he keeps wearing the same jacket in different colors. But this was my favorite iteration of that jacket. Good job with the jacket, Christian. You probably should have wore brown underneath, but I'm not gonna fight you about it. It's your body, your choice, man.
Like a real dark brown. That, or you have to go more to like the beige, like super tan, because I'm not sure complexion wise how like a medium to medium dark.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking a medium brown kind of.
I'd have to go back and look at him. See, I'm supposed to wear brown with like my complexion and hair and everything, and I don't like wearing brown.
I know I'm not supposed to wear yellow because I look so yellow when I wear yellow.
Christian actually says he's proud of Jungle Boy. He's out there talking for himself because a year ago he was kind of like the people of Charleston. He couldn't formulate a sentence. Which, my God, a clever way to deliver a very cliche wrestling line, but a clever way to do it. So I got to give him props on that one. He doesn't want to fight or wrestle. He wants to fix things. He's their family. He loves them. He's like a son. Come home. Instead of hugging him, he tackles him. It starts a giant brawl.
Yeah, Jungle Boy gets to beat the shit out of Christian.
I thought when he took his jacket off, he was going to have the Christian as a pussy shirt on again.
I was hoping for it.
Instead, he ends up trapping Christian's arm into the steps and then stomping on it right over the edge of the steps in one of those things that if there's any kind of pressure there, any kind of botch, it could do some serious damage. And he slammed his head into the steps a few times before we got security and commercials.
Yeah, I like that. He's just...
They need to model the match when it happens in a similar way, like super violent, super aggressive, because
Yeah.
You need to
That's
match
how their whole feud thing has been going.
exactly. So don't go in there and have some technical like super speedy like masterpiece. Like be violent, be aggressive, look like you want to actually hurt the person, not necessarily out wrestle them.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see it.
Next, we got the Wardlow FTR backstage response, where they just basically said they're not going to let Wardlow get jumped by 3 people. They talk about being the pinnacle, and if they wanted to fight, all they had to do was ask. And Dax challenges Jay Lethal to a match next week.
Mm-hmm.
Are you hyped?
I think it's going to be a good one.
I think the only thing that's going to take away
probably
from this is the fact that Jay Lethal doesn't have as much heat with the crowd as you would like him to.
Yeah.
Because Dax is over as fuck, as FTR is, but definitely Dax as a singles wrestler. They need to be able to get some heat on that. And if they do, it's going to be a fun match.
Yeah. Yeah, because we know what both of those guys do, and
wrestle very well.
It's gonna be amazing. Dude.
And now the surprising part is the fact that Dax can talk as well as he does, because I didn't know that before. But yeah, so good. Unlike the next match, because I really don't give a fuck about Toni Storm still.
Yeah, my bad on this one, y'all. Toni Storm versus, what's her name?
Kylan King.
Kylan King, yes. Okay, I did have it right. I didn't know who she was. I actually liked Kylan King. She looks good in the ring.
She's experienced. She's been around for a while. She just... she's kind of where Toni Storm probably was 3, 4, 5 years before she went to WWE. Kind of you're a top person on the independents kind of spot.
Okay.
She just kept countering Toni with her size and power. But
yeah,
one person is signed to AEW and the other person isn't.
Yeah. And one of them is Toni Storm, who hasn't lost to anyone in forever. Her last loss was to Britt Baker a long time ago, right?
The Owen? She didn't win the Owen, so...
Or wait, no, Forbidden Door.
I don't remember it.
Thunder Rosa. So, aside from losing to Thunder Rosa...
Oh, yeah. No wonder why I don't remember it, because I don't care about either of them. But Toni hits Sweet Chick's music, and then the Pendulum DDT for the win.
No pile driver.
Yeah, no Storm Zero. But she beat Nyla with the Pendulum DDT and at Blood and Guts, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember being surprised that she didn't hit Storm Zero and got the win. In another match that at the time, we wanted to leave early because we had no interest.
Yep. And we're literally sitting there half asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Voice is gone.
After that, we had 2 quick video packages. Nothing super notable that I can remember from either of them. The first one was Best Friends versus Trustbusters, hyping up their trios match on Rampage.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the whole point of it. I think Trent, one of them says, how good of a team can you be? You guys are all together because Ari pays you. We're actual best friends. Do you think all professional sports teams are all best friends? They're all paid to be there too, and they do just fine. And then we had a video package for Hook versus the Reality Zach Clayton.
Oh. No, that's what it was. So I didn't even have that in my notes.
You see why I said a couple of very quick video packages?
Yeah, I just blocked that out of my head. I don't care.
Yeah, partially, and part of that's because what's next. So I know this isn't Rampage, I know this isn't Rampage, but I need to hear from Mark Henry right now. Can you do that for me, Range of Motions?
It's time for the main event.
Now, the reason I kind of wanted to get that in there, just that kind of ring entrance start of it, is because when it was time to figure out who the mystery partner was, which wasn't really a mystery at this point, they hand Justin Roberts a piece of paper. And I remember Kenny always had these really long entrances. You hand Justin Roberts a big ass note like that, and Justin Roberts' head perks up, does like a people's eyebrow towards the camera, and then he starts on the longest of entrances, and most people know right off the bat who he's talking about, but slowly you're seeing all the reactions in the crowd as it starts to pour in and starts to click for more and more people.
Yeah, like the insane amount of accomplishments that he went over. Like, you know, the entire time, because his music is hitting the too.
His music has that really long intro, but it wasn't even just accomplishments. He said not from, but built from not North Carolina, or sometimes from North. But they said, but also because they're in West Virginia or whatever. He's like, he may be billed from North Carolina, but one of his favorite candies is the Charleston Chew. Like a bunch of random stuff in there just for like locale and stuff like that. I'm like,
yeah.
Thank God this is his shtick, because it works then. If not, this would be so stupid, but because it's a running thing for him, it worked.
Yeah, see, and this was my first time seeing Kenny Omega outside of like rewatching a pay-per-view.
Yeah, because your regular watching was basically right when Hangman took the belt off of him, right?
Yep.
November
that was
of last
pretty
year.
much about it. Yep. Yeah. I got in. I think that's right around the right time, because I remember watching that show, I think, and then I never saw Kenny Omega again.
Yeah, because he showed up on like the next Dynamite in a video package with the Bucks, and he said, like, basically in the video he said his goodbyes for a while because he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like that brief passing with like Adam Cole, like, I'll take care of him real quick. So it was kind of like sowing the seeds for even the future when they would not get along, which fast forward to now, Young Bucks they turned on him last week. Everything's setting up for down the line.
And that's going to be a big trios tournament.
Well, it's going to be for after.
Well, the final.
Adam Cole and them aren't in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're not in it. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, but that's what I had thought it was going to be like for the last like 2 or 3 months while we were, knew this was coming. The trios titles were on hold for certain returns. So it's what I was expecting for a long while. It's just they're not going to be there. Now, how they will play into things, who knows? Maybe the Elite win the title and then they show up and that's their first feud. Maybe they cost them so they don't win the championships. Who knows? Because the one thing that we did know is, like, you're having Kenny Omega return. He's not losing to Andrade, Rush, and Dragon Lee in his return.
Yeah.
Not happening. Although, the way that they were playing the story of his return, you could have seen them maybe trying to say, hey, if there's a time to pin Kenny, it's tonight. Like Rusty Kenny.
They played up that he was rusty.
Yeah.
And then they kept going for his shoulders, and obviously he had on I don't know what that is, but like a shoulder brace thing that he wears now, I guess.
Yeah, it was weird because it wasn't like they called it a brace, but it doesn't really look like a brace because it's not really bracing anything. It was almost like having a copper wiring sling built into your shirt.
Yeah.
It was, I don't even know. Because when I think brace, I think it's something a lot clunkier and restrictive.
Hmm. I mean, then again, there was a brace that they called a cast a couple weeks ago. So
True. We just take whatever it is and amplify it by like 3.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry, because I do love your hit of the night, and I necessarily did not pick mine out. So I'm gonna jump into the holy shit moment that was of this match.
Oh man.
Okay, so at some point, Kenny is outside the ring, and Rush and Andrade start to set him up for this. They pull the barricade closer to the ring, sit Kenny on the barricade. Like, Rush held him like upright seated position. Andrade went and spread the ropes. Dragon Lee, they called it the Tope Con Hero or whatever. He hits that like flying suicide dive. But instead of suicide dive, I swear, and they never showed a replay, they never really addressed it, anything after. It looked like he did that flip over blockbuster neckbreaker on Kenny into the front row of the crowd. Office of a suicide dive.
Yeah. It looked like it was supposed to be like a tope suicida, and it kind of ended up looking a bit like a neck breaker.
Just momentum and flipping over kind of situation.
Yeah.
Because he had that much speed and that much of a collision. This is one of those times I really wish that we were watching like together and live or something, so we had the same timing, because I stopped talking. I was like, oh, what? And then just silence, waiting for you to react. It was a holy shit kind of thing.
He did just say what? And nothing else. Appreciate you.
But eventually, in the end, after so much double teaming, so much all the other stuff, Kenny is able to hit a V trigger and a very sloppy and slow one-winged angel to get the win. After the match, Andrade, as they're celebrating, they're going up the ramp. You see right before the close of the show, Andrade hits a hammerlock DDT on Dragon Lee, and this mask comes off to end the show, and Kenny and them are on the ramp like, what? And that's it.
Yeah.
So very awkward ending in a way.
Yeah. I feel like the match was probably supposed to end a little bit earlier to give them enough time so that you could at least fully see what was happening in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who knows how much of that match was actually Kenny being rusty, and who knows how much of it was, for show. Because like that one-winged angel at the end, it took him a long time to pull that off. And even just those extra few seconds like there and maybe a spot before, because all you probably need to be able to pull that spot off effectively is maybe 10 more seconds.
Yeah, you probably only need about 10 more seconds, and then the one-winged angel took a few more seconds than it needed to.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know how much of... If I hadn't looked at the clock when I did, I would have been really thrown off, because, the Young Bucks were really asking for a tag when he went for that one-winged angel, because clearly he was not in the best of shape.
Yeah. I think something else was going to happen.
A little fast
I don't know.
Ingobernablis is so anti-mass. If you are a masked wrestler, do not go to AEW.
Yep. So they will immediately go for your mask, even if you're blood related.
Oh yeah,
your
true.
mask is still coming off.
Just refuse to sign a contract with that, to have a match with them. Just avoid that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, isn't Dragon Lee and Rush brothers or something?
Yep, Rush is the older brother.
Man. Yeah. Can't even keep your mask around your brother, man. What the hell is this?
Now, that being said, if there was more time, would it have been more effective if Roosh had been the one to take off his brother's own mask and lay him out?
Yeah.
Or do you just avoid that so that way you can have them come back together down the line?
Or I was gonna say maybe that's where Roosh drew the line. He was like, no, I'm not gonna unmask my own brother. Like Andrade can do it. But I'm not doing it.
Yeah, if they actually ever give them promo time, maybe we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. They do occasionally get a little bit of time to talk. It just, part of it not being their first language, and part of it just not having a really good story ever so far.
Yeah.
Their chances to talk haven't been very productive. Because if you have a good story, it makes it a lot easier to have less is more in your promos. If you don't have a really good story, then you have to find a way to talk enough to make everything more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what?
What?
Scissor me that ass!